AJ, who is your favorite play at center?
Well, first, Emerson, we didn't have these kind of issues yesterday when Geoff was hosting. So, maybe we need to go all in on Geoff.
No, careful what you wish for, pal. Although Geoff is...
I got your back, Emerson. Don't worry.
Thank you, Paul. That's why you're my favorite.
But anyway, to the two-game slate, I think the team most worth targeting here is the Capitals. And I'm going to start with Kuznetsov at 6,500 at the center position. 3 points in 3 games back since returning from injury. He remains a fixture on that top line with Alexander Ovechkin. And I would suggest of the matchups tonight, Washington probably has the easiest, and that's very light, easy. He doesn't break the bank compared to Sebastian Aho, who's at 8,200. If you're not as high on Washington as I am, I would maybe look at Vinny Trocheck, 5K. He's playing on what I would call the Canes 1B line, with Svechnikov and fast.
Geoff, talk to me, dude. Center.
Yeah, there's just so much value on this slate. Obviously, Ryan O'Reilly makes for a great pick, but I think you have to roster Sebastian Aho tonight. And I get the matchup on paper doesn't look that good. It's the Calgary Flames. The Flames have been getting killed by the Eastern Conference elites over the last couple starts. I think you might see, this is kind of a trend happening in the West right now. Some of these West teams, like the Oilers included, just that have started well, they're just kind of saying, maybe they're not as good as we think they might have been. The Flames have ridden some hot goaltending. I think they're going to be in for a world of hurt tonight. This Carolina offense, we already mentioned Trocheck. It's good from top to bottom, and Aho, 16 points in his last 10 games, averaging nearly 4 shots on goal. I think at 8,200, you can even argue, he's not a value, but he's certainly not overly expensive just for the production that he's gotten you. And I think a lot of people are going to be taking those as a stance of, I'll pay up for maybe Ovechkin and leave Aho out. I think that's the wrong thing. You should be stacking the Canes tonight, and I think you start with Aho at center.
Paul, Aho is nearly $2,000 more than the next guy at center.
Look, the guys are all over it, so I'm just going to wash, rinse, and repeat here real quickly. On a small slate, I think the ownership of the top options is a key at center because it's quite a drop off below that. Compelling cases for all three mentioned. Aho priced at $8,200, $1,700 higher than any other pivot, but the guy's 16 points in his last 10 games. Calgary's on the second of back-to-back games, so I think they're a little vulnerable. And Carolina has one of the best home ice records in the league. In the other game, Kuznetsov is a very attractive option because he's still the caddy for Ovechkin. His price tag is only $6,500 while he has only 6 points in 10 games. This is a tempting option because St. Louis has been a little loose defensively. I can't wait to see AJ rip on Binnington later in the show. I'm sure he will, but he's given up 15 goals in the last 4 starts. The only other center I might consider is the aforementioned Vinny Trocheck, the second-line center in Carolina. He's got 8 points in his last 9 games and will be part of the power play as usual, so you have to have him in all the high leverage minutes. He only costs $5,000.